Urgent, Dirty Birds fan! Look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Dirty Birds news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Falcons make three-word statement following Julio Jones. Massive announcement. The NFL offseason is in full swing and the Atlanta Falcons have been very active as they try to upgrade their roster to compete with the top of the NFC. Of course, the Falcons had a disappointing season last year as they finished with an 89 record, which placed them second in the NFC South standings behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. While the Falcons' front office and coaching staff are planning for what to do in the upcoming 2025 draft, it was former Atlanta receiver Julio Jones who made the news on Friday as he officially announced his retirement from the NFL. Jones went on the social media app Squad to announce his retirement, where he thanked his family, coaches, and multiple former Falcons players, including quarterback Matt Ryan, as well as the city of Atlanta. Julio Jones, one of the best WRs of all time, announced his retirement on the social media app Squad. Here is the video pic. Twitter, VUGBS4EPR9, Ian Rappaport Rap Sheet, April 4th, 2025. Following Jones' retirement announcement, the Falcons made a three-word statement on social media. Julio Jet Jones, Atlanta posted on X. Julio Jet Jones. Congratulations on your retirement, Julio Jones 11 pic. Twitter. Como Alex Dizes VCNI. Atlanta Falcons, April 4th, 2025. The Falcons also congratulated Jones on his retirement before posting a tribute video for the former star receiver. Thank you for taking us to new heights, Jet pic. Twitter. Cum3GLDFZHQ3 Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons, April 4th, 2025. Of course, Jones was selected 6th overall by Atlanta in the 2011 NFL Draft, and he spent 10 seasons with the team, becoming arguably the greatest wide receiver in franchise history. During his time with the Falcons, Jones was a 7-time Pro Bowler and 2-time All-Pro, and helped lead the franchise to their second Super Bowl appearance during the 2016 season. Jones was then traded by the Falcons to the Tennessee Titans in 2021, where he spent one season before spending a single season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Philadelphia Eagles before going unsigned after the 2023 season. The star wide receiver finished his career with 13,703 receiving yards and 66 receiving touchdowns, while being one of the best wide receivers of his generation and one of the best Falcons of all time. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Dirty Birds news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Atlanta Falcons could make aggressive move for Packers. 84 million star the Atlanta Falcons are not too far off from being a contender in the NFC. With the right moves, they could end up making that kind of jump in the 2025 season. Entering the 2025 campaign, all eyes will be on second-year quarterback Michael Penix Jr. After the Falcons selected him with the number 8 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, he is clearly the future of the franchise. However, surrounding him with as much roster on the talent as they can find would be wise. To that end, Atlanta has been linked as a potential suitor for a very intriguing defensive star. Atlanta Falcons could make aggressive move for Packers. 84 million star Jair Alexander has been a name to watch in NFL circles for a few weeks now. It sure sounds like the Green Bay Packers plan to either trade or release the star cornerback. While they haven't made a move yet, it is still expected to happen at some point before the 2025 season, if and when the Packers choose to release Alexander. Could the Falcons be one of the teams with interest in signing him? They could use more defensive secondary help, and Alexander would be about as good as it gets. David Latham of Last Word on Sports has suggested that Atlanta could be a potential suitor for Alexander if he hits the open market. Over the last 2 years, Alexander has only been able to play in 7 games during each year. That is what has led Green Bay to the point of potentially releasing him. Despite the injury concerns, the Falcons would be wise to take a flyer on him. Alexander racked up 16 tackles, a fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, a defensive touchdown, and 7 defended passes in just 7 games during the 2024 season. All of that being said, Atlanta will be a team to keep an eye on for Alexander. He may not end up becoming available, but if he does, the team should consider pursuing him. Atlanta Falcons planning to trade Kirk Cousins during the draft? Why? The Falcons will trade Kirk Cousins after first round of the 2025 NFL Draft. A Kirk Cousins trade has been put on ice until draft time. The veteran apparently doesn't want to be Phoenixed again, apparently. This is a new term in the media, so he won't waive his not raid clause until he knows his destination isn't drafting a first-round talent. Honestly, it is a strange move on his part, because a team trading for him isn't going to make him their backup. Not to mention, it isn't like he will find a team that will commit to him for the long run, but I digress. The question we all have, what will the timing of a trade look like? Will it come during or after the draft? Let's take a look. Kirk Cousins could be traded after day one of the 2025 NFL Draft. The reality is that Kirk Cousins can't be picky when selecting a new team. There aren't many openings, which becomes especially true after the conclusion of the draft. At this point, Cousins seems to desire a team that doesn't draft a first-round quarterback. Essentially, this means not the Titans, and whoever takes Shedeur Sanders and maybe Jackson Dart. So once Thursday night ends, Terry Fontenot's phone may start buzzing. In a perfect world, the Falcons want to add a pick to this year's draft. They don't have many picks and still need to fill many holes. That is why a mid-draft trade could happen. It is the best for all parties. The Falcons get extra capital and rid themselves of the spotlight they are under. Kirk Cousins avoids being panicked and his uncertainty is settled. And the other team fills their need, allowing them to address other positions. That final point is an important one. No team wants to leave the draft without a starting quarterback. They cannot bank on landing Cousins because the Falcons will leverage that. By landing him late Thursday or on Friday, you settle everything down. All in all, keep your phone close after the conclusion of day one because things may happen quickly. Falcons must make obvious move to honor Atlanta legend Julio Jones former. Atlanta receiver Julio Jones officially announced his retirement on Friday after having spent a year away from the league. Since leaving the Falcons, Jones made stops with the Titans, Bucks, and Eagles. It was clear after leaving Matt Ryan and the Falcons that the legend's body had betrayed him. Years of playing with an extreme level of physicality had finally taken a toll on a player who is one of the most accomplished players in franchise history. What's next for the receiver is up for debate after sitting out last season and yet to take any notable roles within sports media or coaching. It wouldn't be a surprise to see the Atlanta legend involved with the franchise in the future. However, for now, Atlanta should be focused on honoring the receiver appropriately, starting with offering Jones the chance to sign a one-day deal to officially retire a Falcon. Julio Jones should retire a Falcon and be inducted into the team's Ring of Honor in the 2025 season. Whether or not the team chooses to do this, they must follow the same precedent they set last season with Matt Ryan. After the veteran quarterback retired, the Falcons honored Ryan the next season, putting the franchise legend into the team's Ring of Honor in a moment that brought the franchise full circle after pushing Matt Ryan out 2 seasons ago. The same could be said of Jones, who requested a trade at the end of Dan Quinn's tenure in Atlanta. This was an understandable decision when you consider the team's consistent losing during Julio's time in Atlanta. The receiver seeking a chance to win in the twilight of his career shouldn't be penalized or change the impact he had on the franchise. Jones deserves to be given the honor and treated as the franchise legend that he is. Atlanta has had only a handful of players who had close to the same impact as Jones during his time with the Falcons. The receiver will retire as the franchise leader in yardage and has the resume not only to join Atlanta's Ring of Honor, but to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Julio's time in Atlanta will always be appreciated, not only for what it meant to Atlanta fans, but also for the career of quarterback Matt Ryan. And now, Dirty Birds fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Dirty Birds. I'll be back any moment with more Dirty Birds news. ATL, rise up.